when you don't have men nearby. I would never advise this, because if you just checked, then he'll be able to kill your men. Now up the top I noticed that Santi only has an LP2, he doesn't have a war banner beside it. So I made the decision here to go for an assault. I'm going to try and take down that LP2. Oh, in the middle here, see Santi, he just charges up with the unit of big shooters. That's not a very good move, because he'll fire on the move, cause some damage on my scouts, and then I'll just notice and run away. Against a good player, you'll never kill anything. If instead he put his men on ceasefire, then he walked them up to the critical, and then put them back on blue stance, he'd most likely have, he wouldn't send any pings whilst he's walking in, and then he'd annihilate them quickly whilst all his men were in range. I charged up there because my frags were on 96%. However, whenever they were completed, I was just a little bit out of range, so I couldn't quite throw them. Anyway, so here come my assault marines, and I start to cap again. Santi just teleports in with his men. I'm not sure that's a good move, because he didn't even first scout. I mean, I could have had my army there, and they could have teleported into disaster, but hey, I wasn't there, so he annihilates me with teleporting men. Here I try and send my 2 assault marines to chase off his 2 units, while I frag his other unit, but one of my frags just didn't work for some reason. Note the easiest way to trap 2 units with a large unit of assault marines is just first off, make sure the unit's large, and then just put them onto assault stance and move them between them, and then hopefully the unit AI will split the troops. If there's a unit or buildings nearby that you don't want them charging, and a couple of assault marines decide to charge that, as they sometimes do, even though they're far away, just quickly issue a command on one of the units, then they'll all charge back onto that unit, and then issue a stop command when they're all grouped up again, and hopefully they'll resplit and tie up as many units as possible. I was planning to trap his unit if it got stunned by frags. To do that, I'd have moved it just behind again, issued a stop command, and they'd have all wrapped around his units and forced him to walk a long way round. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. We notice here Santi's T2, I fall back defensively, just hopefully so I can get my T2 up, which does arrive, but Space Marine's T2, I need upgrades, I need heavy weapons. But LP2s in this game are incredibly powerful, because you can target the individual unit. So if he runs in close with the shooter boys, I'll just target the ones holding the big shooters, and it'll be incredibly costly for him, so he has to stay at range really. I don't want this fight, I want to stall, but because he's got a second unit of knobs, I'm forced to attack. This is quite a bad teleport by Santi. I mean, I want to focus down his shooter boys, so teleporting them right beside my LP2 and 2 Space Marine units is actually quite a stupid idea, and as you can see I focus them down. It doesn't matter regardless though, this Orc force, just this one in front of me, is too big. What I'm doing is I'm shouting down the unit so I can shoot at them whilst my Space Marines are out of range of his shooter boys. But his shooter boys managed to gun down my assault marines, so now I'm screwed. This game's over really. The knobs are able to just tank the damage of the LP2 and bring it down even under large fire, so I don't have the Space Marines and the heavy weapons required to drive them off, and it's going to take far too long to equip them. So even with 2 commanders with plasma pistols, that unit knobs can just ignore them and go through. Knobs themselves can be danced as long as they don't have support, so I'm trying to run through and bring down his shooter boys, frag them and shoot them, but well, big shooters outgun me. So last ditch attempt would be to break out vehicles. However, he's going to know that I'm going them. He's going to have tank busters ready. And in the end, I can't even get the vehicle pit up in time. So, GG.